What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, getting down fresh out. You know how we do it over here. Back again with my man Dante Chestnut, and we getting into some prison stories. You know, he did his time at USPs, and there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on behind the walls, and a lot of people think this shit's a joke. Dante, based on your experience, man, what are some of the the craziest things you've seen in prison that like a lot of people wouldn't believe unless you told them about it?
Man, I done seen motherfuckers get stabbed up for bags of chips, commissary, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say a motherfucker owe a nigga, you know what I'm saying? I remember coming out like this, and this one I'm like fresh in, like, I'm like, oh shit, like, damn.
Or a bag of chips.
Over, like, I guess he owed the dude, and he kept playing with him, and dude, you know, shit, cause in them USPs, like, that shit different. Like,
yeah.
You don't know what a motherfucker on, cause they got all this time. Like, everybody in there, motherfuckers got hella time. Like, there's some short timers, like I was, like, you know what I'm saying. But the majority of people in there got life, got 75 years, 44 years, like hella years, like, you know what I'm saying. So they ain't got nothing to lose. And you don't know every day when you wake up, you don't know how this man feeling. You don't know how this man feeling. You don't know how this man feeling. You don't know if he lost his mama. You don't know if he lost, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what they going through. If they going in there with their baby mama and they mad at the world, like, you know what I'm saying? They just ready to snap, you know what I'm saying? So you don't know what's going to happen. But it was like, damn, like, you feel me? So, like, wake up one morning and shit, you know what I'm saying? And come out the cell, and it's a nigga just over the top of a nigga. Didn't I tell you, bitch ass nigga? Like, just hitting him. So police come, tackle the nigga and spray him and all the shit and take him to the SHU. But that's just one incident. Like Victorville, like when I was there, I had just got there like during COVID, like when it first started, when they first locked down the whole world and shit. So we was behind the door like for damn near a year. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, damn, like, so there was really no action for real. You know what I'm saying? Until like the doors opened up. And then when the doors opened up, it was like still on a modified program. So everybody's still trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? Still trying to be able to use the phone and shit. So ain't nothing really popping off like that. You know what I'm saying? And Victorville kind of strict. Like they shit different. Like, you know what I'm saying? They tripping. Like, you get caught with a knife in Victorville, you're gonna be sitting in that SHU for about 60 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. Like, it's different. Like, you get caught with a little piece of whatever, little piece of, you know, any contraband or whatever, you're gonna be sitting in that SHU. You get caught with a batch of drink, you're gonna be sitting in that SHU. You're gonna be sitting in that motherfucker. They got a big old SHU for you. You feel me? Like it was like the duality between Beaumont and Victorville. That shit, two different things.
What do you mean? So what's the difference for somebody who doesn't understand the
shit, like, okay, say, like I said, like, if you get caught with a knife in Victorville, you're gonna be sitting in that motherfucking SHU. Like, you do anything in Victorville, you're gonna be sitting in that SHU. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be sitting in that motherfucker. So, but Beaumont, shit, only people sitting in the SHU is motherfucking people that can't walk the yard, victims, and 205s. You feel me? People that jack on the officers, like on the female officers. You know, and it's a gang of female officers there.
So you got a bunch of dudes in there for that?
Yeah.
They call them, what they call them dudes?
Jackers.
Jackers or tree jumpers. You jump out and be like, gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they the only ones that get to send the SHU, because they SHU is little. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, nigga had, like, me and the homie, we had crushed this dude on the yard. Like, okay, when I got to Beaumont, like, almost close to coming home, it was a little issue, and me and the homie, we fucked this nigga up or whatever. So they kept the dude we fucked up, and they sent us back to the unit. And we just went to DHO from the unit. Like, it's different, like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, if we did that at Victorville, we gonna be sitting in the SHU, we gonna get charged, do all that shit, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go to DHO in the SHU and shit. But there, like, whoever puts the work in, y'all get to go back to the unit. They just gonna keep the victim in the back and ship him out. You know what I'm saying? If his people say he can't walk the yard, you know what I'm saying?
What's the mentality of the dudes doing time in Victorville at the USPs, like, from what you've experienced, man? Like, a guy who's sitting there doing all that time, man, what's the conversation like?
I mean, it's like, it's like it's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? You meet a lot of different people from all over the world, all over, like, and people with different statuses, like, you know what I'm saying? Like high statuses, high power motherfuckers. Like I was in Victorville with Matulu Shakur, Tupac Daddy. You know what I'm saying? We called him Doc. You know what I'm saying? He was an old school dude, cool as shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Real smart, knowledgeable. Like, teaching. You know what I'm saying? All the time. You feel me? But they transferred him to a medical facility because he had cancer and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? But I'm in there with dudes that was with the Lucchese family, you know what I'm saying? Like Italian dudes from New York. And I always pick their brains because, I love that little mafia, like that mafia genre, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, me and my step-pops and my mom's, like, one of our favorite movies was Goodfellas. So, and he knew something, like, he knew Jimmy Burke, he knew, like, he knew Tommy and all the dudes that was in that movie, he knew them dudes. So I used to always just chop it up with them and get, like, stories and shit like that. Then there was, like, the leader of the Latin Kings and shit, the niggas that be on the fucking gangland and all that shit. It was, it was just a bunch of, like, high-powered people. I'm in there with them Somalian pirates.
Oh, the dudes that were jacking the shit?
Yeah, the Somalian pirates, they made that movie, Captain Phillips.
Oh, yeah, with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in there with them.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in there with all kind of, like, all kind of high-power shit. You feel me? So,
wow.
And then, this is my first bid, so I'm just sitting back. I'm really just sitting back watching. I'm really a street nigga, so I'm like, I'm not into this penitentiary shit. I'm not trying to be on this shit because I'm not going to be here for too long. I'm not trying to get all into the politics and all that extra shit. Like, I'm just cool. I'm just me for real. You feel me? But it was like later on in the bid, I did start getting on some penitentiary type, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just politicking and just being like, you know what I'm saying? So I had to, and then I had to snap out of that shit because I could have fucked around and got myself stuck up in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get institutionalized with that bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, shit, I'm going home soon anyway. Like, I already did majority of my bids, so, like, doing all this now is pointless for real.
Yeah. Did you, did you come across some situations, or did you experience, like, where you had somebody who maybe was like kind of like, jealous of your situation, or did you kind of lay low key about who you were associated with? Because I know some dudes, when they feel like, oh, this dude right here, like maybe you have opportunity they may never had, they kind of hate, so you got to really watch who you talk to as far as who knows a lot about, you know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of those dudes up in there.
Yeah, I was kind of real careful on who, like, I opened up to, you know what I'm saying, just for that same reason. Like, I don't want motherfuckers to hate on a nigga, or, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I let my homies know, my close homies that I fucked with, or niggas that I fuck with, like, outside my core and shit, like, that I was close with, you feel me? That I'll chop it up with them, and, cause I met a lot of good men out of everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Got a lot of cool connections with, a lot of people from all over, you feel me? All over the states.
How was the racial situation up in there?
The racial situation, it was different cause, like, coming from the state, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never been to the state, but I've been to the county jail hella times. Supermax, East Max, you know what I'm saying? Medium North, motherfucking just old county jail and shit. And that shit's segregated. That shit's racist as shit. You know what I'm saying? So being in the feds is different because it's like you're men. Like, we carry ourselves as men, like, you know what I'm saying? But there is politics, like, cause, like, even, okay, say, like, even if it's like cause the blacks got the most cars. Like, there's 1 million cars on the black side. So it's like, we could crash out with the DC niggas, or we could crash out with the, you know what I'm saying, Midwest niggas, or, you know what I'm saying? So it go like this. The Bloods and Crips, we together. The Bloods, Crips, and the West Coast niggas, we all together. That's a coalition. Like, if we get into some shit, if the Bloods get into some shit, the Crips is gonna get into shit. If they get into shit, we gonna get into some shit. Like, and then whoever just like a non-affiliate from like the Bay, or, you know, up north and shit from Cali, like they fucking with our shit. They with us, you know what I'm saying? Like even though they don't bang and shit, like, you know, they from the West Coast, so, you know, even Oregon niggas and Washington niggas, they in that car too. So, but there's Midwest car, the Muslim car, the South car, and then the South car don't even, like, like the Louisiana niggas don't even fuck with the South car, they fuck with the DMV, like the DC, Maryland, Virginia niggas. You
Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore, all that shit. They fuck with them. So it just be like all kind of different shit. Like, and then you could crash out with any one of them cars. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be, you know, everybody gonna crash out, whatever. But like the race, like as far as the race go, like, you know, the white boys got the cleanest whip in the BOP. Like they gonna, like, they don't play that shit. Like they gonna fuck they people up. Like if they fucking up, they got a debt, they do anything, they crushing them off the break. They ain't giving them no chances. Like
no bad paperwork either.
Yeah, no bad paperwork, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause in them USPs, you better have your paperwork right, or you ain't walking that yard. You ain't having your driver's license, nigga. You gonna go take your ass up top, and, you know, until your shit get here, or you gonna just keep on bouncing around from prison to prison, trying to do what you do until, you know what I'm saying, until your work come or whatever. You feel me? If you hot, then shit, you just gonna be. You might as well just I don't know, figure it out.
Yeah, make a B-roll right up into the hole.
Yeah, you might as well just, you know, you ain't walking this yard. You know what I'm saying?
Who do you think's the most organized?
The most organized? Shit, I don't know. I can't really say for real. Like, cause, you know, our shit was tight. You know what I'm saying? I could say our shit was tight. Like, so I don't really know. Like, cause there's not a lot of, cause the Mexicans, they got their own, they got different cars and they shit too. Cause there's Mexicans from different regions. It's not just all Southsiders. Like, there's Southsiders, and they ain't even that deep in the feds like that. Like they got a lot of, there's some Southsiders, but they're not deep like how, okay, like the Texas motherfuckers, like the Tango Blast.
They got Texas Syndicate.
Yeah, the Texas Syndicate, the Pistoleros, the, you know what I'm saying, the Tango Vayucos, and just like, it's just a bunch of different shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if it's a Southsider yard, if Southsiders is on this yard, the Norteños ain't gonna come to, they ain't gonna keep, they keep them on other yards and shit. Like if it's a Norteño yard, the Southsiders can't walk that yard. And if it's a Southsider yard, the Norteños can't walk this yard. So it just be like different shit. And then the white boys, they got their own little shit within they shit too. But, you know, if it's a race riot, you know, it's all them against us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even the natives is gonna ride with the white boys and the Mexicans. Like, cause in the state, I guess, like, you know, the Asian brothers and others, like the others is the Native Americans and Samoans and all that shit, and they gonna run with the blacks. But in the feds, nah, they run with the Mexicans and the white boys. So if it's a race riot, shit, it's all them against us. You know what I'm saying? So we all gotta stick together, like, for real, like if it comes to that. But other than that, like, we all separated. Like, we all got our own cars, we got our own business in our cars and shit like that.
What kind of money did you see people getting in prison? Because I know, like, the poker tables, I've seen people getting money off that. Yeah. The gambling, you know, basketball, football season.
Oh yeah. That's definitely a fact. Like the gambling and shit. Like, I never really got into that because I don't really know how to play cards like that. Like, I don't know how to play poker, but I seen motherfuckers getting some money on that shit. Like, real deal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, payout day is today, so y'all niggas better make y'all calls and get that shit to, you know, the nigga that run the table and shit. Or he gonna make his calls and send his money, send who he owe, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So I see motherfuckers getting a lot of money in there, you know what I'm saying? But as far as, like, you know, hustling in there, like me, like, when I was in Victorville, I ended up, like, getting a job in the kitchen. So I was cooking in the OM too. So I was cooking for the staff, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, they used to call me in extra early to do the shoe shit, like all the trays for the shoe, like the oatmeal, like the breakfast shit. And then it was like a 9-man crew in the morning time. So the boss dude, he used to like how I cooked the shit. So he used to just, like, open a butcher shop, open a veggie prep. Say, get what you like, you feel me? And cook for us, like, you know, cook for the morning crew, the early morning crew. And you know what I'm saying? So I'll get my little crates of eggs and my little my little extras and shit and cook up some fly shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And feed them, and then the extras I you know what I'm saying, I'll take to the yard and I sell them like, you know what I'm saying, like $10, you know what I'm saying? And I'll make probably like shit, $75, $80 a day just doing
That's
that.
balling in the pen, yeah.
Hell yeah. So
Yeah.
and then like, you know, cause like USPs we always lock down. But like if you working in the kitchen, you get to go to commissary every week or every 2 weeks. So like, and then you eating out the kitchen, so you really ain't touching your shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like when I was working in the kitchen, I had a big bag under the bed, like, you know what I'm saying? Before that, I'm crushing my shit. I'm crushing my commissary and shit. You know what I'm saying? But like when I had the job in the kitchen, like I was eating good. Like I'm eating steak and eggs in the morning, making cinnamon French toast, like, and I was working in the bakery too, so I was, you know, I was wiggling. Like I'm making fly ass burgers with eggs and grilled onions and bell peppers and cheese, all kind of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm eating good in that motherfucker. You feel me? So I ain't really had to touch my commissary. I'll just keep that for like, you know what I'm saying? Like just a rainy day or something. You feel me? And then like, you know, the whole crew ended up getting fired because they did a little raid and they found some shit or whatever. So they ended up firing the whole crew, and they was like, "Oh, we gonna let y'all back at this time," but they had to hire a whole new crew and just all kind of bullshit. So by the time they was about to let me back, you know what I'm saying, I was already transferring to Beaumont. So you know, my little supervisor, he was like, "Man, you sure you want to leave? Like, bro, you already here, you already home and shit. Like, what you going there for?" I'm like, "Man, I'm trying to get this year off my shit.
Get up
like,
out of
you
here.
feel me? I'm trying to do this little program and get this year off my shit and go home." But shit, nigga, once I got to Beaumont, they was like, "Nah, that ain't happening. Like, you ain't about to get this year off even if you do this program." So I'm like, "What? Man, all right, fuck it. I'll just stay at GP and like, I ain't tripping." You know what I'm saying? So I stayed there, but Beaumont was way more active, like on violence, like crushing niggas and shit. Like that shit was way more active than
Why you think that?
It was just
different mentality.
Yeah, different mentality. It was just ran different. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, like say you get caught with a knife in Beaumont, like man, they'd be like, "Man, oh this motherfucker like that. All right, go ahead, bro." Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The COs ain't on shit, like, cause there's a lot of niggas there, like, you know what I'm saying? They black, you feel me? It's a lot of black females, you know what I'm saying? So they don't really be tripping on shit like that.
Don't you think like
petty shit?
Some of the people working there actually become like institutionalized too, because they like part of that culture.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's like, oh, what's up? They like,
they be trying to
maneuver like they in the pen too.
Exactly, they be trying to fit. That's exactly like that.
Yeah.
That mentality is exactly what Beaumont was.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Them niggas trying to fit in with us.
What's up, so?
Yeah, all that shit.
Yeah.
But Victorville, like, you know, it was a couple cool motherfucking COs, but for the most part, they was on some sucker shit at that motherfucking show.
Did you find, you know, anybody in there that you felt like was somewhat of a mentor that inspired you to kind of like think differently or prepare yourself for when you got out? I mean, anybody that like you took a liking to that was like outside of your immediate clique?
Yeah, it was a lot of people I took knowledge from and learned from, you know what I'm saying? Like it was this dude, Mr. G, you know what I'm saying, out of DC, you know what I'm saying? He was a cool like mentor, like telling me like, you know what I'm saying, just go out there and do you know what I'm saying, and make sure your son is right, like, you feel me? You know, like the imam, like in Beaumont, like I took my shahada in Beaumont, you know what I'm saying? After my mama passed away, you know what I'm saying, he came and like, you know what I'm saying, and then, you know, he said some prayers for me, and you know what I'm saying, like we connected, like, you know what I'm saying. So I went to a couple of little Jumu'ah services, and you know what I'm saying, I started reading, cause I ain't had no real understanding about Islam like that, you know what I'm saying. I ain't had no real understanding about the religion. I just, you know, thought it was, I ain't thinking nothing too much about it, like, you feel me. But when you sit down and you really actually got time to tune in and read and, you know, like make everything make sense, it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So once I got over, like, you know, like grieving and all that shit over my mama and shit, yeah, I ended up taking my shahada and started like praying with the brothers on like 5 times a day. You know what I'm saying? But it just like with my pimping and gang banging, like it wasn't like, oh, now I'm in the Muslim card. Like, nah, I'm still a damu. I'm still on gang time and all that shit. But you know, when it's time to pray, I'm gonna go pray with the brothers and shit like that. You feel me? I'm still go to Juma on Fridays and shit like that. Like, you know, and homies was, you know, it was a lot of homies that was Muslim though.
Yeah.
So it wasn't no surprise. Especially like, you know, being a blood, like it's homies all nationwide. So we got homies from the East Coast, and a lot of them dudes is Muslim and shit like that. But we got dudes from the East Coast, we got dudes from the Midwest, from the South. So it's like, and then you gotta like, and then they trying to like emulate, like, okay, they trying to pick your brain on, cause you know I'm from Cali, I'm from where this shit started at. So they trying to know like, okay, what's up, like, so they trying to emulate like your movements and your, you know what I'm saying, your actions and shit like that. You feel me? So it's like you gotta move like you representing this shit for real. Mm-hmm. So it's like, nigga, you from the West Coast, you a blood, like you gotta hold this shit down, like you gotta really carry this shit like for real. Especially in the feds on that level, you know what I'm saying? Cause it wasn't no, like when motherfuckers think of the feds, oh, they think it's sweet. They think it's, oh yeah, y'all gonna have microwaves and this. Nah, nigga, that shit like living in the county jail with a bunch of niggas from all over America. You feel me? All over the world for real. So it's like, it ain't shit sweet about the USP and the feds. I don't know how I go in the camps or the lows or the mediums and shit. Like, I heard it's sweet. I heard it's cool. Like, easy time and shit like that. You feel me? But shit, them USPs is something different.
Well, I know in the feds too, it's more of an economic, you know what I mean, situation. Because the guys, you got some people in there who got some crazy, like, they were getting money.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
And it's millionaires.
You know, dudes. Some of them was launder money for cartel, or, you know, some of these dudes international. You got all type of people in there. And so it's the conversation, it's a more high-powered conversation. And you kind of leave with a different perspective on what you were doing prior to being locked up. I know I did, you know, talking to some of these dudes, I'm like, man, I wasn't doing shit, you know, compared to what some of these dudes are doing. So I really humbled myself and then tried to, one thing that's tried to make sure I got into an intelligent conversation with people I felt like I could learn from. You know, you said you ran across a couple people. Is there anything like, thinking back, because I know, you know, everything's kind of still fresh, that you think like, damn, you know, I wish I would have had maybe a little bit more in-depth conversation with this person, or somebody who, you know, you talked to that was like on some, you know, really high-powered time, but they were doing crazy time? Anybody that you can kind of think back to? Or
like on the spot, like for real, like I met so many good dudes, like, you know what I'm saying, that had so many conversations with some good people, like, you know what I'm saying. So it's kind of hard to like just pinpoint just one person. Cause you know, cause they liked my energy too, so they gravitated towards me like, damn, youngster, like, whoa, like, you know what I'm saying, I know you going home soon, but like, whoa, like, you know what I'm saying, just giving me encouraging words, and you know what I'm saying.
Well, I know when you like I know I talked to a lot of dudes too. You like, God damn, the government did these dudes dirty, man. You know, you see this how like you know dudes get up in there, and then how they, you know, some of these people, when you start talking to them, you're hearing about so many people how their cases got flipped, and how, you know, that didn't seem like it was right, or this and that, but they, you know, they up in there trying to, a lot of dudes, especially USP, they're fighting for their life still.
Right. And, you know? and it's cool right now because a lot of them dudes that been down for like 30 years plus is getting action, going home. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like one of the homies, one of the G homies, like he went home, he did 30, you know what I'm saying? And he home now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot, like I seen this Latin King dude, he was down for like 26 years. He went home.
Finally got out.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Finally got out, like some shit. Like, it's a lot of laws changing with the feds because they ain't been playing fair for years. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? They could do certain shit that.
Well, you got people who got caught, drug case, they never got a drug.
Yeah.
No, they seen no drug. Ghost dope. Yeah, you know what I mean?
See, they supposed to be changing that too. Like, you got to get caught actually with the drugs.
Yeah, so-and-so said over a month, every week he was doing this, and we're charging you with 100 keys.
Yeah.
Dude, I ain't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. So they I guess the federal laws, it's a lot of federal laws changing, like the 924C.
Yeah, I had charting with that shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of motherfuckers going home off of that shit because they was stacking them guns on them. Like, you feel me? They'll get like 10 years for this robbery, but they'll charge them for all these robberies and stack a gun on every robbery. So they get like 10 years. On top of it, yeah. 10 years on top of this 10 years for like 5 guns. Yeah. Like, okay, now you got 60 years. Yeah. Like, damn. Like, you feel me? So that's how, like, my first cellie, he had 44 years. He had a 924C. He did like 4 robberies. But it's like, it's crazy because it's some dudes in there like, you in here for that? Like, you in here for robbing Dollar Trees and shit? Like AutoZone? Like, you serious?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I hit the Dollar Tree. Like one of my cellies, he was a youngster. He was from Detroit and shit. And he was down for, he had been down for like 6 years when he got in the cell with me and shit. And he was like, yeah, man, we try to hit this Dollar Tree and shit. And whoop, whoop. I'm like, how much money did y'all get? He's like, man, you only got like $40. I said, what? Oh, and you got 10 years for that shit? He was like, yeah. I'm like, that's crazy. This nigga's in the feds for pistols now. He's going down for just pistols, like, or just the ammo in the pistol, like.
Yeah, for the bullets.
Yeah, for the bullets.
They get you for the bullets. Yeah.
What is it called? Commerce.
Interstate commerce, because the whole thing is they can get you interstate commerce, and like you said, for the Dollar Tree, if they could say that you impacted that money was gonna go out of state,
right?
Or they were transporting, you somehow infected that,
or it was because the contents in the store is from all over the place. It's not made in that.
And that's how they crack they dude's head.
Yeah.
You start talking to so many people, you're like, God, man, what am I doing up in here? Like, you start thinking like, and some of these dudes, you're like, dude, you threw your life away. Then they go to work in the factories.
Right.
Then you spend your life working in the factory. You could have been working on the street.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you'll bust your ass in the pen. You'll wake up every day.
Get up early in the morning.
And go to the kitchen and bust your ass in that motherfucking every day. So what the fuck? You feel me? That's why I got that mentality now. Like, cause I was getting up, going, busting my ass at work every day in the pen. So it's like, shit, I ain't got no problem with going and getting a job right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Till shit pick up for a nigga, whatever you know what I'm saying? Cause I got an artist. He just came home. So, we building a brand. We, getting content. We got him in the studio. He got some little action with with like 300 and Rock Nation and shit like that. So it's like, it's gonna happen. Cause he's like, he got a unique sound. He got his own like genre he trying to build. So it's like, so we on that journey right now. You feel me? We're building a brand, like a merch brand, all that shit. So that's what we on. But like, until then, I'm gonna work these regular jobs and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna work this shit and get my money, pay my bills, take care of my son. You know what I'm saying? All that shit.
Well, I always say that they can't advertise for prison like they do for Walmart and Target. So we have all these images, having a gun and doing this, and then young people, because your mind is not very well developed, you do that shit, and then it catches you a case, and then you turn around and get into the pen, and then once you kind of snap out of that trance, you're like, damn, man. And you talk to an OG, he's like, damn, youngster, you should have. And you start thinking, damn, I got duped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm sitting in here for like 8 years, and your kids growing up, and you up in here for a bullshit case and get no money.
Right.
And really got no money, because a lot of them young, you ain't never really seen money.
Yeah, exactly.
And you sitting up in here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because the little dude from Detroit, he was only like 18 when he got caught up with that shit.
They ain't even lived life yet.
They ain't lived life. He ain't know nothing. I used to be like, man, you serious? You asking that question? Like, what, man? All right, bro, you got a lot to learn still. Yeah. And you ain't here dumb as a motherfucker still. You ain't even in here learning nothing.
Wow.
You ain't even trying to learn. You just in here. You feel me?
Just in there like.
Just in here getting high and just being on some bullshit. Running up debts and playing with your life for real. You feel me? So, that shit crazy.
Hey, there you have it. Big Herc 916, Dante Chestnut. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, share the channel.